All right. So for systems of equations, remember we have different types of solutions. But the one thing that we need to do in order to use Desmos is to do your kick and divide method, because we need these to be in y equals. So basically this 2 moves to the opposite side, that becomes -2. So you have y equals -2x minus 4. Now usually we do put a 1 in the front, but since we want the y to be by itself and it's already positive, this is already done. So we're going to put this into the y1 of our Desmos, or the first part, and then this one we're going to put in the second part. So the 2x is already on this side, but I have this -3 that we need to divide here. So we're going to divide them so we can put it in the calculator. So really it's going to be y equals -2x, and then this plus 12, and then make a big fraction, and you put a 3 under it. And this is for Desmos. Now we can usually separate it. We'll do divided by 3, like the kick and divide method. But because we're using Desmos, we don't have to separate it. We can just make it one big fraction. Like, let's say for number 8. Number 8, you have y equals -x divided by 7. So that's a fraction. It's supposed to be a fraction. So, but the y is by itself. So you put this in Desmos, it's ready to go. Now for this one, the pattern is, all right, let's just write down y equals and make a big fraction. My pattern is the opposite of my x. So if I see this 2, minus 2x. And then this number goes on the top. This is a positive, so plus 22. And then whatever this y number is, this is a -8, that goes on the bottom, -8. So now I can put it in Desmos as one big fraction. You don't have to separate it like we usually do for kick and divide, but it's the same pattern over and over again. Now the issue is going to be with, see, some people might forget the -y right here. So for the negative, let's put the 1 there, right? Because if it was positive, you don't have to, but the negative you just do. So remember, my pattern, if I put my y equals, this 6 is going to be opposite. So I'm going to put -6x. This is a -15. And on the bottom, I'm going to put that -1. So see, this is my pattern to put into Desmos. Same thing here. This is a -3x. So everyone, let's go y equals, make a big fraction. What's the opposite of a -3x? Positive 3x. Right here I have a positive 21. And on the bottom, this y number, 5, goes on the bottom. So now I can put them in Desmos now. Okay, so hopefully you're seeing how they just kick and divide over and over. See, like this one, this is a positive y, you do not have to put a 1. So when I move this over here, y equals -2x plus 40. Now there's no need to divide because there's nothing in front of the y. You can actually erase the plus and we're good. If you want to put divide by +1, that's fine. You can put divide by +1. All right. Let's look at my next one. Right here, this is a positive 1x. When I move it, it becomes a -1x, and then I have a -20. Oops, that's 20. And then this is a negative. Be very careful. This is where a lot of people are going to mess up. The bottom is -2, not positive 2, -2. Okay. So you're just putting these to see what your solutions are. Remember, there's 3 different types. You have no solution, which looks like parallel lines. You have one solution, which looks like they're crossing somewhere. Right, that's one solution. And then you have infinite, or many. And it's one line on top of the other, so really it just looks like one line. But infinite means that the line is laying on top of it, so it looks the same. The word problems, these might be the only problems we have. So we have some stuff. It says that we have some clicks. Every time we click, we're making money. On Monday, you have website number 1 and website number 2, the clicks. So really, this is a nice setup because you have your X, your Y, and then your equals in dollars, okay? So this is my X, this is my Y, and I'm gonna equal my total. My total means equal something, all right? So if I get 15 X's, all right, let's look at that, plus 29 Y's, That's going to equal 94.15. Or I can have my second, look at my Tuesday, 25 X's, that's the clicks for website number 1, plus 29 clicks gives you a total of 121, and is that 15? I can't see. Yeah, I think they're both 15. All right. And then from here, we need to go ahead and put them in decimals. So I need to do the kick and divide, all right? Remember my pattern. The pattern is the opposite of the X number divided by the Y number. So make a big fraction. Y equals negative 15X plus $94.15. And then I divide by this 29. Check, that's ready for decimals. Do the same thing here to put it in decimals. Now, what are we looking for though? See, my website number 1 is the X. My website number 2 is the Y. So when you're looking for website number 1, when y'all find the point where it crosses, you're looking for the X number. Okay? So you're gonna put this in decimals, this one, go ahead and do the same pattern, do your Y equals, and then when you click that little point, you're looking for the website 1. Now the reason I say that is because you will have something like website number 2. All right, so we have a customer, they paid for 2 customers went to the post office to buy postcards and envelopes. So when you're talking about 2 different things, the postcards go first, the envelopes go second, so X, Y, right? Each paid the same amount and each large cost the same, okay? So the first customer, they paid $12 for 4 postcards, no, 14, sorry. 14 X's plus 5 envelopes, Y's, cost them $12 in total. All right. The next person bought 10 postcards, 10 X's, plus 15 large envelopes, and that cost $24.80. All right. So it's asking for large envelopes. That means you have to do the kick and divide, right? Go and put it into decimals. But when you hit that point, the little XY point, you're not looking for the X. X is the postcards. We're looking for the large envelope. This is what we're looking for here. So there's a difference between looking for the first number, because my large envelopes are second, there's my Y's. And then over here, it said the website with click ones was the X's. All right, so be very careful what you're looking for. All right. And last one. So this is probably the hardest one to set up because you have a total. Remember, the total means I have to equal 21. Total means I equal something, all right? So a manager purchased a total of 21 coffee mugs and keychains. So remember, the first one is X, second one is Y. So the confusing part is the first equation. How do you get that 21? Well, he bought a bunch of coffee mugs, I don't know how many, plus a bunch of keychains, and he got 21. So X plus Y equals 21. Now they actually do cost some money. The coffee mugs are $8.50 for every mug. That's how much he's gonna pay for them, plus $2.75 for every keychain. So the keychain should be cheaper than the mug. It sounds about right. And $132.50 is how much he paid for it. So now we have our setup. All right, do your little Y equals thing. And it says, excuse me, how many coffee mugs? Coffee mugs are supposed to be the X's, right? So when you find your points, when you do your little kick and divide thing, you're gonna find the X. So X comma Y, my answer is the X number. All right. Now, if you want to put numbers on these, like some people, they're like, Mr. S, I need to put the ones, or I need to. Okay, I understand. Y equals, remember, still the same pattern. The opposite of a positive one is negative 1x. This is a plus 21 that stays on top. And on the bottom, you're just going to put a regular positive 1. So if you need to, guys, I understand. We've been doing that a long time, but it's still the decimals. I mean, yeah, still plugging in decimals. All right. Do the same thing here, follow your same pattern, opposite of x divided by the y.